really good. So he took me to this studio and he paid for it all, like outside of college. He paid to take me. I was like 17. And we recorded loads of like covers in the studio, and that's when I was like, oh, actually, that does sound quite nice. Like, so my mum was like crying, my dad was crying, James was like putting it on a CD. I was like, oh God.
Very special, as you can see. We've got our gorgeous Gemma here with us today.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming with us. Yeah, we're really excited to have you. And this is sort of something we wanted to introduce as well, isn't it?
Because Gem's obviously in our circle, and we wanted to talk today about the power of her circle, friendship, growth, and real talk with Gem.
Yes. So you are our first ever guest on her circle.
That's so exciting. Thank you. I love your podcast. I listen to every one. So yeah, I'm flattered to be on here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Gem. Yes, you're always such a good cheerleader. So thank you. But,
you're welcome.
You know, we're all similar age and similar interests. And
yeah.
But anyway, I won't go into that. Otherwise, this is what we're talking about. So yeah, this is just like, we just want to have a bit of a chat, really, don't we? Of how you are part of our circle and about you. So for people that, there'll be people listening that do know you, but there'll be lots of people that don't. So you know, it's
But also, I think it's important for me that for those that don't know any of us, maybe that the importance of our circle and the fact that all three of us are from different parts of the country.
Yeah,
we're obviously similar age, similar interests. We're great friends, and just how the power of like that circle and that network can grow and develop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think maybe we could lead into what does make great friendships as adults, you know, because we've touched briefly on this about friendships when you're younger and feeling the need to fit in. And I feel like as you get to our age, you start to form different friendships.
Yeah, friendships mean like a hell of a lot. I think that you've got to have trust and also I think you're more picky.
I do. Yeah, I feel like it's hard.
Picky.
It's hard to meet friends in adult life, isn't it? Especially, I love the way you said our age. You know, in your 40s, like it is. What do you do to like meet new people? Really, I feel like social media has been a godsend for me because that's where I've met all of my adult friendships and like genuine best friends. Like it's been really powerful, I think. And you can, like Nat said, you can be more picky. You follow people, you kind of talk to people that you can relate to, that you're similar to, and you don't normally find that in real life, do you?
No, you don't.
It's not
like
as easy.
Baby groups you'd think would be the place, but it's not, because you're busy doing the baby things. And then, you know, you can go to the gym you don't do baby groups.
See, I did, but we weren't the same. You know, the mums in my baby group just they weren't my people. So I was like, nah.
We've also talked about this before, actually, with me comparing myself to the other mums in the baby groups and feeling like they're not my people because I didn't feel good enough for them. But I just think
why I didn't go. I honestly couldn't tell. I mean, I had Billy when I was pretty young, so yeah, and I just followed suit then.
And the mum network can be really judgy, can't it?
Oh, God. And competitive.
And competitive, yeah. And I wasn't up for that.
Yeah, I couldn't be dealing with that.
Like that, you know, the red book, the percentile.
Yes.
And I had a friend that always used to tell me like what percentile her son was on, and then ask me what the twins were. I was like, I don't know, they're alive.
I mean,
they look all right.
They're doing okay.
Yeah.
But I think things like that can be difficult. And then obviously you can go to the gym, aerobics classes, whatever. But again, it's not really the right situation to be having a chat. And I think what you said is so true. Like on Instagram, particularly for me, following you for a long time, I felt like I knew you before. I mean, you probably never even had a clue who I was, but before we actually got to connect, I felt like I really knew you first. So you form a friendship before you actually form the friendship.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, that's what Instagram's all about, isn't it? Like building those relationships with people. And you find your tribe. But you know, I've definitely found my tribe, I think, and it is, I can genuinely say the majority's from Instagram.
Yeah.
Which I never thought ever in a million years would be the case. I just didn't think it would be. I thought, how can you meet people online like that? Like, it's just not. But then even couples meet online, don't they? That's so normal now. So true. I think it is. Yeah, I think it's a great way to meet people.
Everything I was against about it. Like, you know me when I get a bee in my bonnet. But I do also admit when I change. But I just thought, oh God, people are strange. To be like, it's not true. Like,
I didn't think it was true. Yeah.
To be fair, until I reached out to you, I didn't think I would ever have a friendship online.
Yeah, to be honest, this is all...
Even people I really liked on there, I still didn't think I would, they wouldn't be the same or something like that.
Yeah. And I thought that. I thought social media was quite false, and I thought, people must not really be like what they are like. But then, because I started using it and I knew I was being me and I was meeting people that seemed like me, and I thought, oh, maybe people are normal.
And you proved me wrong too.
And it can be, of course, but I think when you meet those genuine connections.
Yeah.
And
So should we move on to how we met and why? Well, all three of us, although we were from the same place, we have known each other separately, haven't we?
Yeah.
Really? Like, you two have known each other longer than me.
Well, probably not. Because
I was thinking, when did we first meet, Maria? I can't remember.
May 2020. I think I'd been following Gemma for quite a while on Instagram. And I was like, oh my God, she's amazing. Like, she does it. She's got it all together. She does it all. She's fantastic. And then we were in lockdown, and we were able to adapt and change the way we run our business, and we were able to reach people remotely. By that point, it was a bit more than just like liking and commenting on your things. We were like replying. And I think I basically said, like, help, what am I going to do to get myself out there?
Oh, I do remember, because I remember I said to you, didn't I? I was like, you need to get on your stories. You're like, I can't, I look awful. I'm like, you never look awful.
You were like, do it now. And I thought,
do it right now.
I'm in bed, like lockdown times, in my pajamas.
Just like, do it. Everyone else is in bed.
Yeah. So I did it. So I felt like you were not only a huge inspiration to me, but you were like my biggest cheerleader from the beginning, and really gave me that confidence and empowerment to do it, because we're all the same. We've got our OG friends that we've got, that tight circle from primary school or whatever, the select few that made the cut. Then you have like different pots of friendships, but nobody really gets what we do or why we do it. Like, even sometimes I think my family might think I'm nuts and what are you up to on Instagram, but knowing that you get it, you got it, and you were like, you can do this, just do it, it gave me that confidence. So I feel like you were just really there for me and gave me that confidence and self-belief to go ahead and just do the same.
Because at that point, nobody really used Instagram, did they, really? I'd only just started. I started mine in about 2018, and I was just getting used to just talking to people on there and just being on my stories. And I found stories were the most engaging part of the whole thing. Like, so many consultants at that point only posted pictures of products, and I didn't know who they were. I didn't see a profile picture or anything. And I thought, right, I need to do the opposite of that. I need to stand out. People need to know who I am. And that's because that helped me grow a following and build those relationships. I remember saying to you, I need to see you more. Like, you need to just be yourself. And I think that's what so many people find scary. They're like, but what do I say? I'm like, just whatever you want to say. Like, there is you don't actually need to think about it too much. You just have to be 100% you. And then if people don't like you, which not everyone will, we're never going to please everybody, but the people that do really like you or they're similar to you, they're going to be the ones that follow and engage, and they're the ones you want to talk to.
Yeah, exactly. I think that maybe, should we just mention that sort of how we're connected? Because obviously people might be listening to this and not know what we're talking about, really. So, Jen, tell us a little bit about you.
So we all met, didn't we, through the one-to-one diet, which is basically, I've been working with the one-to-one diet for 12 and a bit years now. I put my little awards here. I thought I better put them behind today. But yeah, so it's something that I've grown over a long period of time. I lost my weight back when I'd had Finley. So he was a baby and I had some weight to lose. And this plan literally changed my life. And that's when I decided I wanted to become a consultant and help other people, because I had friends that, saw how my results were really quick and, they're really impressed with it. They wanted to do the plan. So I thought, actually, I could do this alongside of, having a baby, and it would just be perfect to do for a bit of pocket money. I never imagined it would grow to what it has, but I'd say, it's grown how it has recently over the last sort of 5 years because of Instagram, because of those relationships, because of, putting myself out there. And that is how we all met. We all, people say all the time, don't they, use social media to meet your ideal clients. But I didn't really ever see it like that, because I didn't really know what I was supposed to be doing or who my ideal clients were. I just thought, actually, I'll just be me and see what happens. And because it's worked, and people say to me, oh, but how did you do it? I haven't actually got like a practical like bit of advice to give people, apart from just be yourself. That's all I've done. I don't know what else to say. There was no tactic, there was no sort of strategy or anything like that. I am a little bit more strategic now, only just because I've learned over time how to sort of reach more people. But I think we were all sort of new to it, weren't we? And then lockdown obviously happened, and I could start helping people from my social media. And because my business pretty much tripled overnight, and that was because of the relationships that I built before we were allowed to do that. So it's what I say to people all the time. They could never have been my clients. So I wasn't selling to people. I was just talking to people, being myself. And then obviously I was very lucky that it all changed and became virtual, and then I could help them. And that's obviously where that's when you messaged me, wasn't it? When I said I was allowed to help people anywhere in the UK. You were like, me?
Yeah. Help me, please. And that's, again, if you wouldn't have done your stories, I wouldn't have reached out.
No.
Because I wouldn't have felt that connection. So even no matter how many posts you probably did, I still think it was definitely the stories that and I would say that's like with a lot of my clients, like it's always something through a story that they think
something that you say something that you say that they can relate to or connect with. And it's true, it's like you pretty much broke the mold, because that's what we all used Instagram for, following celebrities, watching their day-to-day life, their mundane, what they're up to. You buy into them, and then they put on a lippy and you think, I need that because she's got it. So you were kind of already doing that.
And I copied them. That's where I got the idea. I remember it was all the, like the Towie mums, when they started doing their own social media, and I was like, oh, Fern's put a new hair curler. I need to buy it. And then I thought, hang on a minute. Why don't I just talk about the products and see if people want to buy them? And I thought, because I could only help local people at that point, it was few and far between. I'd get the odd inquiry, and I thought, oh, do you know what? I actually just really enjoy Instagram. I'm just going to use it. And thank God I did, because actually all of that following became my clients in the long run. So it worked really well. But like I said to you, your stories are just getting to know you as a person. Nobody can really come across 100% in a post about weight loss. You can see someone's lost weight, or they've done well, or they're a mum or whatever, but actually to get to know someone, that's what stories are for.
You need the
and so many people don't use them.
No, that's exactly it. And I think that sometimes when I think, oh, I'm not getting as many messages, I'm not even on about inquiries, I'm just on about, you have regular people that always comment and say stuff to you, like really nice. But then I think, oh, I haven't done a story. Like,
that's what it is. Yeah, definitely.
If you haven't done a story, then people, they're not going to message you, really, are
No,
they?
this is it. Yeah.
No, it gives them reason, doesn't it, to answer something that you've been talking about. They're more like, and it's so easy. You just reply to the story.
I do really enjoy stories.
I do.
I've always enjoyed watching people's stories. I think that people are always...
You get nosy, don't you? And you get invested, and you think, what's she up to today? Like, and then if you're not there, like, I've not been present on my stories this week because I've not really been well, and I've had lots going on. But I noticed Gem wasn't on much at the beginning of the week, and then yesterday she was like, oh, I haven't been on my stories a week. I thought, there she is. Because you miss it. And I'm like, where is she? What's she up to?
I had a message saying, are you all right? I was like, yeah, I better go on my stories.
Just busy.
That's right. People do. They're like, they get to know your routine, don't they? Really, when you show up. And so I said to Jace last night, oh, I think there must be something wrong with Maria because she hadn't messaged. And
busy all week.
I had such a hectic week myself. I didn't get a chance. By the time I got in bed, my head hit the pillow.
And the day goes so quick, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, so our friendship was basically a funnel system via Gemma. Gemma started selling herself. I bought that from a consultant point of view, like how, she's amazing. How can I replicate this in my own way? You thought, I want her to help me with my weight loss. She started sharing your stuff, and then I'm like, who's this girl? Watching your transformation. And then I think what's most important for me is when I get to meet you both in real life. Well, first time I met Gem, I was like, oh my God, it's Gemma Renwick. This is so exciting.
I was like, what are you doing? Stop being silly. This is cringe.
It was so funny. I remember that first convention, and it was literally like following Billy Fairs around. Everybody was like, Gemma Renwick.
Remember when Jim came to his first convention with me? He was like, what the hell is going on? He was like, are you Beyonce or something? I'm like, yeah, basically.
Yes. And I thought James was your really good looking husband.
Oh, bless him.
James is her brother reference.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think where I was going with that was when I did get to meet you both in the flesh, you're both exactly what what you put out there. And I think that's so important because.
And same with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, definitely.
It's nice, like when someone you feel like you've got this connection, and then you meet. It's like when what is it they always say? Never meet your hero because you'll be let down. But it's like you both were exactly what you put out there, and I think you've already got that connection built up, and then it sealed the deal when we met in the flesh. So yeah, we've kept that friendship going.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that I just couldn't connect with someone if they were different.
No, I couldn't. And it would be disappointing, wouldn't it? If you feel like you've built that connection with someone online, but then I just think, how would you keep up a facade for that long? Like, how can you?
I can't imagine there's that.
It's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there must be probably, but it's like, that's a lot of effort to try and be someone else online.
Yeah.
Right. Shall we go into our next section? We're going to go into what people don't know about you, Gemma. So give us something that people don't know about you.
Oh God, I don't know. I haven't prepared for this, girls.
I can think of something, shall I?
Oh, go on then.
Your amazing voice. You don't show it nowhere near enough.
No. Yeah.
When I heard it, oh my God,
I did used to.
24/7.
I know, but you do sing all the time, don't you? I've got this weird thing, right? From when I was younger, because I've always liked singing, and obviously if you have got some sort of voice or like you can sing, a little bit, people are like, oh. And that used to scare me. I'd be like, oh, I'm not doing it because everybody's listening. And it was too much attention. Yeah. And my mum was like, oh, you need to sing. I was like, oh, no, I don't like it. And I remember singing at school. It was like secondary school. And I remember the music teacher was like, you need to sing like in the band. Like you do need to build your confidence. I'm not a very confident person. So I was really shy and I was scared to do it. But that's where I started singing, like in this band at school. And then actually went on to do performing arts at college, which I don't think people know. But I did that because I loved singing so much. So I went and got a distinction in my singing. So that was like, I was really, really proud of that. And my singing teacher at college was like, right, we need to take you to a studio. You need to listen to your voice because you obviously can't hear what I can hear. And I was just like, oh no, I like it, but it's not, I'm not very good. Like I had one of my friends in my, I met one of my besties now actually at college. And she is an amazing singer. And you always think someone's better than you. And I had this like imposter syndrome. I can't do it like Laura can. And she went on to actually be a singer. She's like done backing vocals for like loads of famous people. She's amazing. So I always had that, but I'm not as good as Laura. I'm not very good. It's a bit embarrassing because I'm not. And he was like, you're just different. Like your voice is different, but it's really good. So he took me to this studio and he paid for it all. Like outside of college, he paid to take me. I was like 17. And we recorded loads of like covers in the studio, and that's when I was like, oh, actually, that does sound quite nice. Like, so my mum was like crying, my dad was crying, James was like putting it on a CD. I was like, oh God. So it was like that's when it all started. And then I did do a bit of singing sort of at weddings, and I did a little track that got signed in 2009.
Yes, exactly.
Amazing.
I've listened to it a few times. But I think that it's mad because obviously I know you really well and that, and I think all of that really stopped you through confidence, didn't it?
Yeah.
If you had more confidence at the time, you could have been a superstar with it. But you're a superstar anyway, and we wouldn't have got to meet you. But I think that
But what an amazing teacher that he not just saw that in you, but like tried to push you into it. Like,
and actually like pay for that, like out of his own pocket. I remember my mum was like, why is he doing that? But he was really nice. Like we all got on with him really well. He's a lovely guy. And he just said, I need you to have something to listen to and take home. And he knew a guy that had this studio. And, we all went. My mum was there, my friend Kate. It wasn't just like I didn't go on my own because actually looking back, that could have been a bit dodge. But he did. He paid for it. And I had that CD to keep and like listen to. And it did make me think, oh, yeah, no, I can sing. But that's just another example of why like that confidence holds you back in so many like aspects of life. And I don't know what it was with Instagram. I felt quite safe on there because I knew I could be 100% me, but I didn't have to actually talk to anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like in real life,
people wouldn't think that you ever lacked any confidence.
I know.
Because
and I still can't.
Instagram.
I still hate talking in public, and people say, "But you talk on Instagram." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not in public, though."
Yeah.
Nobody's watching.
It feels like no one's watching, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels like no one is.
Do you think that helped you, like him doing that and putting you out of your comfort zone, and then you actually listening to it and thinking, oh, actually, I do sound amazing? Did that help you grow a bit more, like personally?
Yeah, maybe. And actually, looking back, I always wish I'd done more. And people say it to me now. I actually had a comment really randomly on TikTok the other day. I did a video, and someone put, "Did you used to sing? I recognise you." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And then it was a guy that actually helped with my like when I did some gigs in Liverpool when this song got quite big. It was like a Head Candy sort of dance song, and I got invited to sing it in Liverpool. And he used to be my like agent to like book all these gigs for me. And I was like, what a small world. He was like, I knew I recognised you. I was like, oh my God. He was like, why are you not singing? You need to sing. I was like, oh, don't. He was like, you've got TikTok, start singing. I was like, okay. But I just don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I still get really embarrassed. It's such a silly thing. You know, at 41 years old, you think I would have got over it by now, but I just haven't got the confidence with it. Maybe I need to go to lessons and build my confidence again.
You should just do it, yeah. Especially if it's something you enjoy.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm very jealous because I just feel like I always go, I was meant for the stage, I should have, but I just didn't get blessed with.
But I love the fact that you have that confidence and you can sing on your stories. You just don't care, and I think, oh, it's amazing.
When
I wish I could be more like that.
And you're like proper going for it. I'm like, go on, Natalie.
That's how I live.
Yeah,
I
love it.
Live my life. You know, every task I do, I sing. So
love it.
It's how.
But it is like therapy, isn't it? Singing.
See, I love it if I'm getting my clean on and I've got my headphones on and I'll have housework karaoke, I call it, and the whole house is deafened. And they're like, Mum, what are you doing? But
but mine don't like me singing either, because I find that I get songs in my head and I must just repeat it over and over again without realising, like when I'm cooking, and Beth's like, shut up.
Yeah,
like,
I
sorry,
think
kids.
that's just a kid's thing, whether you had a good voice or not.
Yeah.
You know, Liam is always like, I mean, I probably do hurt his ears a bit, but I don't care. I really don't care. So, yes. Right. So, how do you feel? God, that was really formal.
It was. I was like, oh no, what's she going to ask?
How do you feel? Like, we'll go back to the confidence thing that, you know, you have got definitely more and more confident, I think.
Yeah.
But how do you feel like you've grown personally? Like,
I think like learning to believe in myself, basically. I think, you know, at the start, I never, but even like I have clients now that say, I didn't really believe that I was going to do it, but I just told myself I was going to do it. That's what I did. I kind of faked it till I made it, basically. And that's why I find it really hard when people ask me, like, how have you done it? I need like the tips. I'm just like, I don't know how I did it. Like, genuinely, I just thought, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a success. I'm going to make sure that I, you know, do as well as I can. But I don't really know how I did that. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I have like a specific answer, but I'm definitely confident in my job now because I feel like I've proved myself. Do you know what I mean? I always felt like I had to prove myself, but I don't really know why. Maybe I didn't feel good enough and I thought, right, I need to show that I can do this and I am good at my job. And it was always kind of like me against me. Like I had to prove to myself that I could do it. And I did a post actually the other day about it. Just, I've never been in any competition with anyone else. I don't really care what other people are doing. And I really try and just take bits from people that inspire me and think, right, if she can do it, I definitely can. I remember going to convention and seeing people on stage and I thought, well, I want to be on stage. I've never been on a stage like that before. I've never won anything, so I'm going to do it. And I'd hear like a mum say, you know, I've just worked really hard over the last 2 years and I've built my client base and I've, you know, give amazing support. And I thought, that's what I'm already doing. So if I just work really hard on that, and I started asking my clients for feedback, I started doing like anonymous surveys to see how I can improve like what I was doing. And that's just how I just kind of learned and grew over time to prove to myself that I could do it. And then obviously once you're on stage once, you don't really want to not be on again. So I just carried on.
It's addictive,
yeah.
It is addictive, yeah.
And I think it's really inspiring because, you know, it's like people have asked me so many times with like my social media, how do you do it?
Yeah.
But I think that the magic formula is being yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, that is the answer. Yeah.
Like, it is. One of my clients actually said to me once, he came to get weighed and I was in the middle of doing a presentation. He said, oh, what's that you're doing? And I said, oh, I've been asked by head office to do this presentation about how I do whatever it was. And he said, but they can never be you.
Mm.
And I was like, what do you mean? He went, they will never be you. That's your unique power. And I thought, you're so right. You can tell people, oh, this is how I did this, or I worked hard on that. Yeah. But the bottom line is that they can never be you. And I think there's something in us all that is unique. And obviously, and that can never be replicated by anybody, no matter how hard they try.
And that's it. Oh, sorry. Go on now.
Carry on, Gemma. This is about you.
I was just going to say, like, you can always try and copy people, but that's the thing, that it will never work if you're copying someone. You can be inspired by someone and think, oh, actually, I need to be on my stories more because she's doing it and that's obviously working. Yeah. But you can't copy like what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? Because that's never gonna, it's never going to be authentic. Yeah, it's not authentic. And if it doesn't feel natural, don't do it. But actually, saying that, being on your stories, Maria, didn't feel natural to you, but I said to you, you just have to try and get out of your head what other people think of you, because it's that confidence thing. Oh, someone's going to think I look horrible because I'm in bed, I haven't got any makeup on. No one cares because they're at home without any makeup on. They probably do want to see you like that, because actually it makes them feel normal. And that's when I started realising, actually, I don't need to put makeup on every time I go on, because you do. There used to be a thing, like when I first started, it was all about filters. There was constant filters on everything. So like, Snapchat had like the little bunny ears and stuff. I did stories with that on, like at the beginning, because I was so scared to go on as me. But actually, over time, that's how I built the confidence to do it. You just, again, it all comes back to.
And I think that's the biggest compliment is when you meet a client for the first time virtually and you have that video call with them and they go, oh my God, you look exactly like you do on Instagram. And I think, I know, because
that's what you want.
I don't use filters, and you will have rough days when you've got a face full of cold sores and no makeup and you're like, that's just life today, guys. Yeah. This is how I look. Yeah.
And I actually think it helps people really.
Yeah, it does. People, it really does.
It's just being yourself, isn't it?
Breaking down those barriers.
24/7 done up, and you don't need to be. So, right, I'm a bit conscious of the time.
Yeah, because we could go on and on.
Yeah, but, easy.
But I was going to say, I think something about what you were saying about I've completely lost my train of thought.
So shall I just move on?
Yeah, okay. Cut.
So, we can just cut that little bit out.
Yeah.
We try not to edit it much, don't we? Because I think it just always flows so much.
Yeah.
Better. And I read something about podcasts do better is the Bailey. Anyway, so let's move on. So this is quite relevant, I think, at the moment. And I find you so inspiring with it all, because you are, a very positive person, But again, sorry to drop in about my meditation, but like the whole gratitude and all of that is very much like, you're not saying I'm 24/7 happy and everything in my life is perfect, but you will always put a positive spin on things, which is I love that about you. But also, I think another thing I love so much about you is going back is the cheerleader bit.
Yeah,
that you are. I don't think I've ever met anyone as much like, and that's why I just think like no one could ever feel any jealousy towards you, because Gemma cheers everyone.
100%.
Like what you said, the way you guided Maria, and even the way you
didn't need to.
It came back to you, with me being all spiritual, but it came back to you because you was helping them people for nothing, and you still do, But
it was never about that. I think that's why it worked, because it was never about having them as clients, because I knew I couldn't. So I just thought, actually, just be me, enjoy it, get to know people, make friends, basically. And then other people might see that as, oh no, she knew what she was doing. It's like, but how could I? Because there was absolutely no. We didn't know COVID was going to happen. We didn't know the virtual world was going to happen. It just so happened that it did. And I am a great believer in manifestation. The what you put out, you get back. And I've never, I can hand on heart say I don't feel jealous of people. I've just never have. I do. I feel like envious. When you're like, oh God, love that. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to do it. I see it as
like it inspires you, don't you?
Yeah. I want what they've got, so I go and
really like that. And like, when I met you and everything, like we're not on the same team or anything like that, but we help each other all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
I genuinely, like, I really appreciate that, because especially in
and I think that's why it felt special to me when you got Diamond Leader for the first time, because I thought you literally are our Diamond Leader. Like, you didn't need to help me. You'd never met me. I'm not on your team. We're in the same network, but like you did that all just because
you could see each other as competition.
Yeah. And you never.
I just can't do that.
I would never, but I'm just saying to outsiders who don't realise.
That's why we love you.
I'm sure there was a lot of people, Maria, that were like, oh, here she is, bloody Gemma, Diamond Leader again.
There's always going to be haters.
People get to know you properly, they would know how deserved
exactly.
It is. Not saying people don't. Sadly, people are.
Yeah, they are, and that's on them. Yeah. But anyway,
moving on.
Who inspires you the most? I'm interested to know this, because we're talking about obviously you inspiring us. Like, who inspires you the most?
And maybe adding to that, what you look for in people that you keep close?
Yes.
I would have to say at the moment, well, over the last few years, Nat and Rach have massively like inspired me, because I was very much like in a world where I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of winging it a bit, shall we say. And then these wonderful women came along at the same time. And also you built my confidence, because I thought, oh my God, what I've done is actually like worked. Do you know what I mean? It's actually changed. I've been there for these people that have then changed their life, and then now they're helping me as well. Like I felt like it was like a full circle of like weird. I don't know. It was weird that you came into my life when you did.
Definitely a special circle.
It was, yeah, and it was such a lovely like realization of, oh my God, I can meet people that actually. Yeah, I would say, yeah, at the moment, Nat and Rach definitely inspire me the most. Like in work, shall we say, like with what I'm doing, I want to do better because I see them. They're growing every day and they've done amazing things. But then they're like, yeah, but so have you. But I'm like, I know, but I want to now do more because like you inspire me to do better. And Nat, especially recently over the last like year or so, watching you grow as a person and learn to love yourself no matter what size you are, what you wear what you want. That's rubbed off on me a little bit. Like subconsciously, you've probably done that to thousands of women, and people look at me and go, oh, but you're confident with fashion. I'm like, I'm not. But now I know Nat wears whatever she wants. I'm just going to wear what I want. Do you know what I mean? You've given me that confidence and inspiration to do it. So yeah, I'd say Nat.
That makes me really happy. No, but it's vice versa, and I'm not just saying it. It's yeah, and you know, we have built such a strong friendship, haven't we? Like no one, like I feel so lucky that you're my sponsor, but also, you know, one of my closest friends. But it's because, like you said, no one really gets it.
No,
what we're doing.
It's so hard to meet people, isn't it, that understand? Because we probably do make it look a little bit easy as well online. That's what a lot of my friends say. Yeah, but I think deep down, my friends think, well, she don't actually work. Do you know what I mean? But it's hard,
the mental side, it's everything, and I think that I always feel like with you that I don't even really need to explain, you just know. And hopefully vice versa, like we know
definitely
what each other are doing, and you know, and then so we're all part of the
that's it
together.
And I feel like that's important. It's like how this circle and, you know, your connections, like you, especially you three girls like Nat and Rach, how that circle has helped shape not just their lives but your life, like because you're growing and learning from each other constantly.
We do, we definitely do, don't we? So
and also having that like reassurance of like my clients going online and actually talking about, because before then nobody ever really vlogged, nobody ever really shared. I was just out there shouting from the rooftops on my own. And then when Nat and Rach were kind of like my first two vloggers, shall we say, that actually openly shared their whole journey. And then that helped spread awareness for me and them and the brand. So that's kind of, it pushed it out so much further than I ever could have done on my own. And that was because of what I'd previously done. Do you know what I mean? On Instagram. So I'd say that it was like a full circle moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So it's quite mad really when you look at it.
It is.
Like, how it all...
It is. It's crazy.
Yeah, especially though I still find it mad the way it was like me and Rach coming, like it's like we
the
were
same
meant
time.
To, at that time.
And consultants will say to me like, how did you like sponsor them? How did you find them? How did they do that? And I'm like, well, none of us know. Like we just kind of all worked together and like winged it together because it was new, wasn't it? I'd never had a team member join and have like a following before. So I'd have people saying, oh, well, how are they doing? So, well, how have they done that? I'm like, they've just been themselves, like I did. Like it is that simple when you look at it. That was the formula: being yourself and putting yourself out there and being vulnerable, basically. And it did work.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So obviously we've talked a lot about friendships within work and, you know, our work network, but how do you balance your work life with friendships outside of work? If we can call this work.
See, I know it's that, but that's the trouble, isn't it? We don't see it as work, but it is hard. It is really hard work, and it does take me away from my social life quite a lot, because like a lot of my friends will say, oh, you're going out with the one-to-one lot again. You know, what about us? Do you know what I mean? And also my friends, weirdly, I don't think they mean to, they always talk to me about diet when I'm with them. I'm like, guys, I don't want to talk about diet today. Eat and drink what you want. I don't care. I'm going to do the same. But it's always that underlying of, oh, are you allowed that? Or should I have this? Or, do you know what I mean? There's that weird thing. I don't know why, but it's I suppose because that's all they see from me online. But I do still find it really hard. I have to set boundaries all the time. And again, me and Nat have worked together on this because we have to... work really hard to keep those boundaries going. And because I could be on my phone 24/7, and I know I've spoken to you as well, Maria, about this, you know, when we've got the kids and they're like, oh mum, you're on your phone again, the guilt that I get from that is horrendous. So I do need to get better, and I say it every time.
I have to say, you helped me the other week without even knowing that you did.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. So obviously Nat's been talking to me about boundaries and stuff for a long time, and it's slowly getting there. But we were messaging about something the other week, and then your auto reply came back on your WhatsApp saying, it's now my out of office hours, something like that. Out of my business hours, I'll get back to you in my business hours, something like that. And I thought, I've got to use that, because my business hours are set on my WhatsApp business.
Yeah,
that's it. That's what gives me the biggest stress in the evening, is thinking that someone thinks I'm not replying instantly. So knowing they've got that, I can't even tell you how much of a difference it's made in the last 2 weeks.
It does,
and so relaxed.
Yeah, good. And that's the key, isn't it? But that shows what type of people we are.
You was relaxed.
Honestly, it's like my phone now at 7 p.m. when my business hours are done.
Yeah.
That they get that message, and if I see it, I think I can wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Whereas before I'd think, I need to just see, what does she need? Is she okay? Oh, it's nothing, but I'll reply. Now I'm like, it's fine. She knows.
And the trouble is, once you've seen it, you can't not reply. I find that really hard. Like if I've seen a message, I can't not reply, because then also you're so busy that you would forget to reply if you don't do it instantly. So so the out of office comes straight in, and I did that. And that's only recent, actually, having the set your it only gets sent when it's out of your office working hours that you've already set.
Made a difference.
I mean, I do leave my messages, not like for ages, but you know, if I'm busy and that, I like to try and do them in one lot. But again, when I was doing the meditation training this week, it was really good because it was also about business. And the lady who has taught us, she was saying, which are, again, when you do a job you love and it's your own business, it's very hard to switch off. So you could be doing it. And I thought, that is me 24/7, and no doubt us, the three of us, you know. And she was on about that, and she said, but the thing is, you know, you will. It will have an impact on your family and I thought, because the worst, we've spoke about this in previous episodes, and we have, I hate it if like I hear Liam go, oh, she's not listening, because I'm on, and I literally feel horrendous for it.
I do.
My worst trait in people as well. So, and I thought, and she was like, you know, you need to find downtime doing something else, like she does. You know, because she runs this massive meditation school, and she loves it so much, it's helping people, all of that anyway. And I thought, right, I've really took note from that I need to, you know, go back to my reading books and where my phone's moved away, because it's so easy to just slip back into it. But then there was something else that I was going to say. And also she spoke about boundaries, and all of, like, from the very beginning, she asked that all contact was done via email. So she said, I still get messages all over. And I'm not saying that would suit us, but still, and she said, then for me, I can feel relaxed, and I reply with real thought. And I thought, it is true that, you know, it is all about setting that expectation, isn't it?
Otherwise you can rush as well. If you're rushing with all these messages, you're not really responding, like you say, with thought and empathy and everything that you want in this job. So I feel like when you do it, exactly what you said, if you're setting that time to reply to everybody, and you can actually take each person really individually, whereas if you're just doing it when you're trying to make the kids tea, or you're trying to, actually you're never present in anything, so you're never good.
That's exactly it.
But then also, I also think you're not going to have a successful business, like that Rochelle Hume said. You're not going to have a successful business if you turn your phone off at 5 every night. It just doesn't happen. You have to work hard, don't you, to grow a business.
I
feel like you can't expect that.
We live in a very much 24/7 instant culture. If you want something, it's there within the hour or the next day. So if somebody wants you and they want to start on plan with you, they want to do it now.
Especially plan, because it's that.
It's that I've made a decision.
You know, that is a different thing. But I think that you can have a bit more balance than I've had in the past.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's something we've all had to work on.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
You just have to be conscious and mindful of it, don't you?
Yeah.
And again, like with friendships, isn't it? It's making that time of, like, I feel like it's not even that, even just all the time. It's just balancing relationships without, like, sometimes I just don't want to speak to anyone this weekend. Like, I'm knackered and I just want to like, you know, have downtime, but then, you know, you sort of take for granted the people in your life that miss you.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
you know.
but I feel like with work, with this job, we all understand when that happens. Like if we're
Yes.
quiet, we're like, oh yeah, she's all talked out this week. But I kind of save that time for my friends outside of the business. I then go through and message all my friends. Is everything all right? How, you know, I've got a little group chat with my closest girls, and I'll always message on there just because I think that's separate. But also learning to say no to work things as well. I find it so hard. I used to find it so hard to say no to people, and you know that I've had to learn over the last few years to say no to just extra things, because otherwise every weekend
it's too much.
Yeah. And then I wouldn't see my family.
Because you build so many friendships as well. So then, you know, but it is getting that balance.
It is. And it's like, we do the job because we love it. But you feel like I was getting to a point where I was starting to not resent it, but you could feel it coming. Like, God, this is just, I'm selling the dream of ditching the 9 to 5, and this is the 24/7. And I love it, but I want a life outside of it. And then you have to remember why you're doing it. And it's to give you the life that you enjoy. But I just feel like that actually, thanks, Gemma, for that, because that really helped me.
Good, I'm glad.
Just knowing that they've had a reply has just took off so much pressure, which is ridiculous.
We need to get Maria to
therapy.
And switch her phone off for 24 hours.
But they'll understand. Our clients are so, like, you know, understanding and respectful. They, as soon as they get that message, they're like, oh, I had one last night at 9 o'clock. Mine goes straight away to this, you know, automated message, and she replies straight away saying, no worries, thank you so much for your help tonight, I'll message you in the morning. And you know, people understand it. Then I just think we're making a rod for our own back. If you're constantly replying at 10 o'clock at night, they're going to expect you to reply, and that's not their fault. That's your own fault for not setting the boundaries. And we've spoken about this loads of times, haven't we? Now you have to set that boundary, otherwise you will end up resenting the job. That actually, if there's parts of the job that you're not enjoying, it's your responsibility to change that, because it's not your client's fault or problem, it's yours to change.
I have to say, I've noticed they've been quieter this week in the evening. It's like
because they know now.
It. Yeah.
And the thing is, I think it's also a case you've got to look at, like, I want to, like, lead by example to my clients. So I want to say, you know, practice what I preach. That, you know, you can't be available to people 24/7. The time I give to people, I want to be really present with them. And, you know, that can't, like, no one's a machine, you know, so wellness is about looking after yourself as well, for me to give the best back. And I want them to do the same. So I think that you've also got to look at it from all angles, really. So, yes, we're all getting better.
We're all getting better. Yeah. I'm very conscious of the time, and obviously, Gem, you're a very busy woman. So
I've got my calls in 5 minutes.
We're doing Let's round it up with something fun. What is something that you are obsessed with right now? Can be anything.
Shopping.
Yeah, I was going to say, not buying things.
I'm a nightmare. I can't stop. I'm literally addicted, and you two don't help.
Me and you, well, and you. We need to go to some therapy for it. Honestly,
I've got an addiction to shopping, and I don't even keep half of it. I send it back. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm thinking, what am I doing?
It's the feeling of it arriving. It's like Christmas every day.
I forget it's bloody arriving.
So do I. I'm like, oh, what have I ordered?
It's for me.
Yeah, okay. I'm obsessed with shopping. I am. And also, what else am I obsessed with? I'm trying to think of something actually that isn't. Oh, do you know, actually, what me and Jim are both now, this is setting boundaries. We turn our phones off at 9 and we watch a programme together. And I'm actually a little bit obsessed with that. It's helped me and Jim, like, in our relationship. We're together, actually talking about something, like, we're not on our phones, and we watch a different programme at 9 o'clock every night. I feel like that's one of the most positive changes that I've made, and I would highly, highly recommend it to do.
That's lovely.
Just spend time with your partner.
Yeah,
he's all right. He's all right after all that.
Without the phone.
He's all right.
Without the phone and the food as well. Like, stay away from the kitchen. Go upstairs. We watch our programme in bed together, and it's just something that we now talk about as well. It's given us something to, like, discuss. Do you know what I mean?
Tonight.
Yeah.
Away from work.
Yeah.
Because I feel sometimes like I just, like, bore Jason to tears because I offload to him about.
Yeah, I do as well.
You know, which is brilliant for, no doubt, Jamie and Chris. But, you know, it is nice for them to have a bit more, you know, talk about something else now.
For once.
Yeah.
And you also started watching, like listening and watching Jamie Lang, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, I watched that episode the other week. I was laughing so hard that I thought, oh, I haven't laughed like that for a long time. You know, when it actually hurt. And Jim was like, "You're all right." I was like, "He's so funny, watch it." And I'm around it. And he was just telling a story on his podcast that just made me absolutely howl for like 20 minutes. And I sent it to Nat. She's like, I was the same. It's so funny. Yeah. Him and his wife have got that Newlyweds podcast, and it's just funny and such easy.
I need to check it out.
Oh, it's so funny.
I really love him.
I've been following his journey this week because he's doing his marathon, man.
Yeah.
Every morning I'm like, I'm driving, like nearly crying, like, oh God, he's amazing.
Last night when his friend come and he started sobbing.
And
he's so emotional, isn't he? I really like that he's so open with all of his emotions, and I just find him. Yeah,
I find him really endearing.
I do.
And I really like him.
Yeah, I do.
So yes, it's been so lovely to have you, Gem.
Thank you for having me. I loved it. I could do this all day.
We could keep talking.
Yeah, I feel like we do need to. Maybe people could ask questions and we could do another one. What do they want to hear?
Definitely. That would be good to know. And that obviously leads us on to, we hope you've enjoyed our podcast, our first ever series, and we'll be back and
we're learning our
feedback. What have you enjoyed? What would you like more of? Obviously, we've loved having Gemma here. Would you love us to feature guests more often? Just let us know.
Who do you want in our circle?
Yeah.
Because it is selective.
Very selective.
Yeah.
As you get older, you have a
I feel very privileged.
Thank you, Jem.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you.
Oh, thank you too. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. She's out the circle.
It's been really, really good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes.
Right. Well, we'll leave it there.
Yes. Till next time.